Greetings everyone, please come on to make sure everything's set on up. Okay, that looks like we got the entire map. Oh wait, oh, I did forget it. Section move this over a little bit. And there, at least that part's good. Now time to check on the live stream to make sure that's all going up. I'll give it a moment to boot up like that. And that's all going up. And looks like everything's booting on up. Let me give a moment to turn the live chat windows. Microphones. Is my microphone working? Yes, it is. Something I always forget and tends to be a big one to forget. Doesn't happen often where my microphone does not want to go, but sometimes it does, and that is one of the worst things to make sure it doesn't work, because that's more or less the point of the videos to a certain extent, is my voice. Looks like that's all good. Give me a moment to check my other computer. Looks like everything is good to go. Oh, frames didn't pop. But now don't need to worry about that. And looks like everything's good to go. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here of another Age of Empires, Advanced Wars by Web replays. Well, on the south side is Pink Cosmos Javier. Yeah, Pink Cosmos. We have Mela. Asterisk, line, asterisk. Spawn north side as the green Olaf. Got Yoshi Rider. Wait, don't I usually cast him in Days of Ruin? Oh well. Oh wait, I just don't think I realized. I forgot to turn my macros. There we go. Now I can move around the keys, the turns with my WASD, and so let's get started. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport. There is a player compound center, but they're not really contestable. You still have to defend them, but generally they're not any big threat. If you lose it, you probably already lost the game. I did see Olaf wait his 1 health cruiser. You monster. There we go. You monster, waiting it. We do have now a tank here. Another tank here, so both sides now have a tank. Of course, this tank is on farther back, not forward, so it's maybe a later deployment. Maybe better to go for right here. You can see here it takes a whole turn just to get past the first base, while this one started from that said first base, which has a recon now there. Another tank there, once again in the same spot. Another tank, this time northwards direction. Do have an artillery here. So Javier's just going straight tanks. However, Olaf goes for artillery, but Javier has plus 20% indirect, which is actually a very powerful aspect. Plus 1 comp tower. So by default, his indirect has plus 30% defense, which is quite significant. It becomes very resilient firepower. As much as I sort of laugh at Drake's minus 30% firepower on his battlecopters, that's effectively using artillery against Javier. We have a battlecopter now rifling its way forward. T-copter here as well. We have an artillery, tank, and infantry. Give me one moment. I don't like the fact that what's it called? Continues from the same last spot. I like the intro part. Anti-air, infantry, and tank in this turn. It's always a good idea to go for anti-air no later than turn 10, or go for battlecopter to potentially counter our battlecopter. Double recon and anti-air. Recon up here could get a shaman's infantry, but leave it vulnerable to a tank, or to a battlecopter. Let's just say there's a lot of things ready to murder that recon. Did not scout out any of those assets. And Olaf did see the recon drive on by. Of course, does not know where it ended up. Probably wouldn't better end your turn inside of that forest there, but now there's an infantry in the open, perfect for bait, honestly. Recon does strike the infantry unit there, hits that same other infantry unit. Blah, cannot speak. Artillery is in range of the battle copter, so it's some good possible engagements by Javier up north. Everything's out of range of this artillery. Got 2 tanks in range, 1 tank, 1 ATR here. Another tank reserve, so Javier could get some good work done here. But that's also a little good potential of him getting some good work done here. This tank can hit this recon, this tank can hit this tank, and then the battle copter can strike the artillery. He has vision of all 3 assets, so he can make his plans accordingly. Does have vision over here, but 3 first strikes I think would be a good idea. Hell, there's 3 infantry. No, the battle copters go over here. I was gonna say, oh, 3 infantry could take a shot against artillery as well. Probably not a good idea. Seems infantry up north. This tank's in the forest. This tank's out of range. Ain't here, not spotted either. Takes out the recon 1 shot. Battlecopter strikes the artillery. Oh, the recon. I forgot the fact that shores are effectively no different than roads for recons. Oh, goes to the interrupt. That's going to hit the artillery. It may have been a bit better to hit the artillery instead. He does interrupt the capture, of course. But the artillery should just take a shot against either the full health tank of no defense star or 9 health tank of 3 defense stars. Yeah, this is a bit more vulnerable, so strike this one. Anti-air, recon, infantry, and battlecopter. But Javier got some great strikes that turn. Does strike the tank here. Oh, it doesn't have vision of this tank here. Never mind. Hits the recon. Battlecopter, tank, artillery, and infantry. Takes out the 8 health infantry. Takes the 4 health infantry. Battlecopter finish off the artillery. Gets the 5 health. Hits the 3 health. Starts capturing up the city. And has the road blocked. So you should be able to secure the property here. And this one could start being captured in the next turn. Both fires have their comm fire. I forgot not mention that. Tank, tank, tank. Triple tanks. He does have 22,000 income, so he can forward 3 tanks per turn. Olaf has 24,000, so he could eye for a Neo tank and pair of infantry per turn. We do now have a blizzard. If he wants to turn this desert, it makes it extra cold. By the way, deserts are cold, particularly in the winter and nighttime. Also due to the large temperature drop. I remember when I was deployed to Kuwait, during the winter times, it was 70 degrees during the daytime, 20 degrees during, it got as low as 20 degrees during nighttime. So not only there's a steep temperature drop, there was also just it being straight outright cold. And speaking about temperature drop, when I first landed, it was 130 degrees. And when it finally reached to 89 degrees, the entire base was shivering because of the massive temperature drop. Takes the recon. There are tanks up here in an 8 here, but there's a lot of stuff here. Olaf sort of lost his flank and he's pulled back. It's reinforcements made to defend around the mountain sides. As artillery and maybe some battlecopters heading up north. Artillery, infantry, battlecopter, and recon. Javier feels pretty good on both flanks. Medium tank, double infantry, and battlecopter. Bit of a front shift. He doesn't have to really push his front. He could actually eye for the comm tower. T-copter maybe going for mech. Then again, it has to park there because infantry can't load in right there. Gets that infantry unit twice. Javier almost has enough for our tower shield, so if he ends his turn near in range of artillery, he can pop tower shield. A great increase in indirect defense. Increase it from 20%, I think, to, was it 30 or 40? I can never remember some of the CO differences. Javier is... there he is. Goes to plus 40%. And then superpower plus 80%. Pops the tower shield, which also gives him +10/+10 global with his doubling the effective comp tower. Also gives him +10/+10 global for activating another power or superpower. So he has +20/+20 global. Imagine a weak samurai spirit. For cheaper as well, so it's actually not bad. It's a pretty good alternative to samurai spirit. You have a Neo tank here. Another Neo tank double infantry. 25,000 income. So equal amounts of monies. This is a very high earner map. Does strike the recon twice. Hits the recon once. The extra defense is very handy indeed. You can see here, the battlecopter dueled with a battlecopter, and thanks to all the bonuses of him having +30/+30 in total versus +10/+0, means he almost lost his trade. I am curious what the effects was that. The more I think about it, I'm wondering. He did 5 damage, so he was guaranteed that. His opponent did 4 damage, he was basically guaranteed to get that, so no luck there, just not a great first strike, to say the least. We could potentially see a blizzard this turn, but we likely will not. Bomber, infantry, battlecopter, and tank. Blizzard or Winter Fury is guaranteed, basically, at this point. Takes out a tank there, hits the infantry unit. You gotta haul himself down, lock down, or be very aggressive. Takes off number of tanks. And right now, Javier has 208,153. Calls down to 163. After this turn, it should be pretty evened out. Bombs, it destroys the pipe scene. Of course, Olaf has +10/+10 global this turn. Another tower shield's available. He sees a medium tank there. Neo tank is not in range. The blizzard also slows him down as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anti-air does strike the battlecopter, does not knock out thanks to his +10/+10. Yeah, I can't even reach the road right there. Looks like this move speed is currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Deletes the cruiser, which was at 1% health. Yeah, some good shots there. Takes another battlecopter. Takes a shot with the battlecopter, but did actually no damage to it, or at least not 10% damage. Recon tank puts around there. Does shoot to the battlecopter. Almost enough for a full tower of power. It may be better just go for more tower shields since it this will effectively in total give him +20/+30, 20. This and superpower give him +30/+30. Granted, indirect defense greatly gets increased if he wants to become bulletproof to indirects rather than super bullet resistant. Which super bullet resistance honestly plenty enough likely. Because it goes from +40% and with +40% with +20, effectively getting +60% indirect fire resistance. Rig, Recon, Battlecopter, and Anti-Air, or APC, not Rig. Tower Shield's probably the more cost-effective option. Also gives him possibility of a 1-2 punch. Takes the Battlecopter, spots the medium tank with the infantry into there. Neo tank takes it out in one shot. Takes up the artillery. Artillery is a low priority target. Remember, he has a lot of defense versus indirects right now. Battlecopter, tank, double infantry. Tank does hit tank. Bomber staying just out of range of the Anti-Air. Hits some units now. Hits the capturing squad, but thanks to all the defense, it hardly did any damage to it. With +20/+20 with 5 or 3 defense stars, so it's effectively +50% defense. Anti-air strike on the battlecopters, getting relatively close to Winter Fury. Possible Winter Fury next turn. Bomber could strike the new tank. And strike, had the bomber strike the Neo tank, would likely get them the Winter Fury. Tank, and recon. Yeah, needs another like 8,000. So yeah, bomber striking Neo tank will likely get him the kill, or get him the power charge. It may not fully kill it all since on 3 defense stars. No, bomber heads up north. He's not eyeing the Winter Fury this turn, which could allow his opponent to pull out another tower shield. Does get some good strikes up here. Artillery's in range. Tower shield. Oh, pops a tower shield now. Winter Fury is available. Insert with 209. Olaf right now is 150. Gets called on 166. Of course, he's also fighting a bit of a wall. He did reduce all the resistances, since Tower Shield effectively gave him plus 20, additional plus 20 defense, totaling plus 30, plus 30. 30% minus 6%, so it's effectively right now 24% increased defense, which is still quite a bit. Does puts good around the Neo tank. Medium tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Of course, these Javi's gonna be slow moving this turn. Does hit the recon twice. Recon hits the artillery. Neo tank does fall back. Anti-air puts some damage to the bomber. Anti-air heading up north, going to be ignoring the battlecopter down south since the bomber's a higher threat, even if that's 6 health. Battlecopter does finish off cruiser. Anti-air will take out the battlecopter. Another tower shield's available. Mech, battlecopter, and artillery. Does get a good strike on that tank. Captures the property, which one I'm not sure. He is at 26,000 income versus 24. Another tower shield's now activated. Looks like this city's actually the one that got captured. Lots of good strikes there. Tank does hit tank. Recon hits infantry. Anti-air does shoot down the bomber. He may even do that before he popped the power, so he could have got some power charge from that. Does hit the recon. Battlecopter, double tank, and infantry. Instead of 158 versus 159, so it's still pretty even, but feels like Javier's in a far better position. Probably due to the plus 10 unit on the field. Does spot the artillery. Hits the regular tank there, hits the regular tank there, hits the artillery with the tank, and 4 health for extra range defense or indirect defense. That artillery is not going to be able to do much. Anti-air, infantry, and tank. Hits the mech, tank hits the anti-air. Another Winter Fury is available. Pops immediately, calling Javier down to 132 while he's at 125. Artillery does strike the Neo tank for 1 point of damage. And this time he's popped interfere without fighting into a tower shield. Anti-air does strike the battlecopter. infantry, and recon with T-copter in reserve. Yeah, a lot of guest repairs from the winter. Medium tank heading down south. It's still got a 7 health Neo tank. However, the medium tank is beyond the mountainside, so there's not much surface area to hit the medium tank. Not to mention scout out the forest or the punch through the rig on the or APC on the city, which only has 1 tile there. Only thing will probably punch through it's probably the Neo tank itself, so that's safe enough position for the medium tank. Neo tank could try falling back to a city, get some repairs going. If you're heading over here to start catching up these properties. Recon, infantry, recon, and another T-copter. We do have a 6 health medium tank, Neo tank here to engage the medium tank, soon be at 8 health. Recon spots everything. We could see the Neo tank push forward, hit the medium tank, maybe with the effect of the tower shield. Power shield activated, and that's exactly what happened. Railroad tank maybe will finish off this medium tank and then hit the artillery in the behind. But right now with the tower shield, you could sort of ignore the artillery since it has to fight through so much defense. Plus 40% indirect defense, plus 30 in total from having the power and double comm tower. So effectively plus 7% defense has to punch through, which is not great. Even as a regular tank could probably struggle to do any sort of damage to it. Because right now, if artillery were to strike a regular tank, let's see, against the Neo tank, it would probably do 10%. Not even 10%. I drastically overestimated that. Against a 9 health medium tank, or regular tank, yeah. Not much right now. I swear, Javier's indirect defense is actually the key aspect for the CO, in my opinion. You really want to avoid going for any indirects versus Javier. And why is our Olaf rocket? Yes, it has range, he's on defense, but still, it's an Olaf, it's a rocket versus Javier. Let's just humor me. Instead of a rocket, how much damage does a rocket do? Only a little bit more damage. Against that same Neo tank? Pathetic. And actually, Olaf does resign right there. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Yep, I always like casting Javier games. Javier is pretty good. What am I thinking? Yep, that was this one. There we go. We do have a couple of lower rated COs. Both the mobility seals, I should also say. And let me get this over here. There we go. That should be good. So, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, Angrade here. Another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the south side as the Blue Moon Adder. We got Nubilio, which is that name well enough. Spawn on the north side as the Acid Rain Cold. We got King Ghidorah. I'm pretty sure King Ghidorah is the 3-headed dragon from Godzilla, if not mistaken. Either way, let's get started. This map is a 3-base map, a whole power roads, so the actual roads bonuses may be useful. If I remember correctly, well, the roads bonuses are plus 10, plus 20, plus 30. So yeah, it's not even the higher percentage rates of other bonuses like Jake's Plains bonuses. It goes like plus 10, 30, 50. You get the not so great plus 10, 20, 30%. Recon here. So So there's a good chance Recon's blitzing away for both these players, honestly, because there's a lot of traversable terrain here. Comm tower here is securable. Airport down south. You have rotor tank by Cole. Another tank. Another tank down south with a mech way down here. Now going to take some shots against the pipe scenes. Take a shot here, here, then here. Recon, artillery, infantry. So got 2 tanks right now for Cole. 1 tank by Adder. Let's take a shot there. I'll reach around for a drink I have nearby. May hear it. Let's open up a little bit. We do have, of course, these tanks are pushing way forward, but no engagement just yet. It does have vision of recon and infantry in the bottom right, but does not have the one he could have interrupted around here. But that one will capture the property, no problem. It's the pipe scene again. And it does have now battlecopter on the field. Does get trapped right here. Good shot there. Good tanks are blitzing the way forward. This tank may be in range of this tank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, is in range of that tank. However, no road bonus because it's not Cole. He's fighting against Cole. And if I remember anything from Gears of War, the Cole train runs a whole grain. Recon, double infantry with another battlecopter. Both these COs have perfectly fine battlecopters. Cole's bonuses also affect battlecopters and bombers. And offensive capability. Anti-air battlecopter, double infantry. That pipe scene's taking a beating. 28%. Tank inside the forest will not be spotted. Has opportunities to get some first strikes over here, but will be outnumbered. This tank will be at 7 health for next turn. Artillery is a little bit out of range, of course. Got a nice line of infantry here by Adder. Does take some strikes against this pipe scene. The artillery is pounding away against it. Does take a shot down the infantry unit on top of the city. And does interrupt the capture. Get some good strikes over here. Adder's close to his power. Tank, double infantry, and another battlecopter. Getting some good shots here. You have a side slip now available. Anti-air is in range of the battlecopters. This tank could hit the anti-air here, but will of course need some spotting. Does pop a power, going from adder to the subtractor. Look, that joke was horrible. Battlecopter does strike the tank as well as the regular tank as well. Infantry unit gets struck by the tank there. Recon gets struck. Anti-air goes to the battlecopter, knocking it out. Machine gunning this recon twice. Trail bull can be deployed in the field. And fully surrounds the tank there, possibly broken out with a pair of infantry units. Tank, infantry, and another battlecopter. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. Superpower now available. It might be better to go for force marches. For Adder's just going to go for side slips with the +10/+10 more often. Once you have some need, +2 movement range. For Cole, there is some room to play around between the roads bonuses. Tank, and mech. It does not pop the power nor superpower last turn. And the tank did not escape. Tank will strike tank. Tank will strike tank. Picks up some units there. Tank will also strike tank there. So Adder's getting some great first shots. Get some good shots there. Tank, anti-air tank. Recon does strike the infantry unit there. Tank does hit infantry. Finish off that battle cop as well. 1 health battle. Black boat could be next. Trying to say battle boat for some odd reason. Now that word's reserved for battle toads. You have Cole stuff on the back foot. Tank, infantry. And still no power, nor superpower. Adder does have his power available. Threatening multiple captures right now. We got the comm tower cities. 9 health city can be held off a turn. Took triple shot against the pipe scene. I disagree with that. That is a lot of momentum loss when he's on the offense, has more capability for offense. So that may be a little bit too much momentum loss there. Catches some properties himself. Takes the black boat. Got the full trail woe. Getting plus 30% firepower from attacking from roads. And mentioned plus 10 plus 10. So in total plus 40%. With the comp plus 50% firepower when attacking from roads. That is not a road. Does get not a road shot there. Broken Pine Scene does not count. Gets a good strike there on the tank. Drops the capture, interrupts the capture, starts the capture. Recon blitzes, hits the infantry unit, nukes it. Artillery advances to not road. Hits the con tower capturing unit there. Medium tank on field. Drops more captures. Anti-airs just migrating over to the left. Size available, so this is potentially a sidewinder. Battlecopter can take a shot against Battlecopter. Could take the shot from the airport in order just to get more health restoration next turn. Does take out Battlecopter there. Get some big shots across the front line. Drone capture there. 2 capture progress remaining. And drops this capture of a 1 health remaining tank. Tank, and infantry. Recon hits infantry. Tank hits, or anti-air hits Battlecopter. Tank interrupts capture. 8 capture progress remaining. Battlecopter gets shot down. Tank hits tank. So got 2 properties despicably neutral here. Both players 22,000 income. Tank, and recon. And I think he resupplied this tank there. Regular side slip, not superpower. Meteor strike infantry. That tank is now in range of the artillery, which is in the auxiliary. It's the anti-air. Takes out the regular tank there. Battlecopter hits infantry. Machine guns down the anti-air, but it does leave it with fractional health remaining. Mech gets a good strike there on the tank. Tank does hit tank. Answer of 109,029 units versus 78 with 21 units. Cole is on the back foot by about a full turn, and if not, turn and a half. No force march. Force march now. Artillery does strike tank. ATR strikes Battlecopter for a bit of damage. Interesting time for a force march. Didn't really get too many shots with the force march active. Just guess wants a little bit extra mobility, I guess. Didn't seem like great of a power. Side slips now available. ATR hit the infantry unit there. Tank hits artillery. Gets some good shots there. Artillery's down to 1 health. We'll finish off there. artillery, and infantry. Let's get some good hits there. Tank will strike tank. Tank will finish off tank. Tank will get a first strike on tank. Tank, and recon. At 21,000, so in theory, Cole can afford 3 tanks per turn, if barring there's no repairs. Infantry, and tank. T-copter, infantry, double tank. Does hit the infantry unit twice. Hits the infantry unit. Another infantry unit got the bull in the field. Tank, it does hit a tank. It does try to finish off the tank there. Tank hits a recon, but it's not a great spot. Way too many tanks nearby. Medium tank does take a shot there, but of course got battle copters nearby. Side slips available. Pops a force march. Tank will get a good strike on the tank. Does not go with firepower bonuses. Battle copters will strike the tank. The extra defense is coming very handy from activating the power. The medium tank does get hit twice by the battle copters. The battle copter, tank, and infantry. Tank will get a good strike there on the tank. With the boost strike, able to finish off the tank. Medium tank will strike regular tank. Recon strikes a battle copter. Battle copter strike battle copter. Anti-air, infantry, and recon. Does hit the battle copter. Hits the medium tank there. Hits recon and regular tank. Force march now available. Side slip and sidewinder both are still available. Battlecopter, tank, and double infantry. Tank will strike tank. Does not finish it off, or does finish it off there. Recon gets good spotting. Tank does take out tank. Anti-air hits the battlecopter. Oh, gets trapped, but still able to boost off to the right or north. Force march is now activated, just the regular power, plus one movement range and additional road firepower bonuses. Good blitz down south. Tank hits anti-air, but in range of the artillery. Tank, battlecopter, infantry, and commits a base skip. A lot of good hits there. Neo tank. Infantry. Battlecopter hits anti-air. Lots of good picks there. Takes out a number of battlecopters. Tanks heading down south. Take out some of these outlying infantry there. Not a whole lot of infantry nearby to capture these properties, but they're starting to go down south. So the infantry is probably a good idea. Just get some capturing pressure. Another tank and battlecopter over here. Of course, that battlecopter will likely be shot down by the anti-air. Another force march could be deployed on the field. Sidewinder or side slip is activated. Neo tank over, he's going to cause some issues. Mean tank's at 5 health and out of range. Force March now activated there. Booster strike on that tank. Finish off that tank there. Battlecopter gets a good strike there. Takes out the infantry capturing squad. Infantry does take a strike on the artillery for 1 point of damage. Infantry, artillery, and recon. Battlecopter gets shot down, hits the recon there. Hits the infantry unit as well. Tank, and infantry. ATR does strike the battlecopter. Medium tank heading over to the left. Another medium tank, infantry, and infantry. We'll see another side slip activated soon. Right now the income's 24,000, 22,000 income, so Adder does have the advantage. Small, but an advantage. Neo tank here doesn't have too much spotting, but we'll be able to take out a regular tank here, or maybe not. Hits the capturing squad. Another Neo tank support by Adder. Cole just simply does not have proper counters to them. Just 2 medium tanks, of course, it needs the first strike. Does take out the pipe scene. Tank and infantry. It's the tank there. Units rotating around. Medium tank, infantry, and APC. It's the infantry unit there. However, the artillery's in range. That's like a bit of a boon for Cole to get back in the game. That is exactly what Cole needs. Get some good strike there. Perhaps even trapping the Neo tank surrounding with the 1 health tank, infantry, and 6 health tank with the recon there. Can be very useful right now. Tank hits tank, tank hits tank. Let's take out the squad capturing the HQ. Power is activated there. Anti-air hits regular tank there, does not finish off. Capture the HQ. Is that going to be HQ capture? He has a power he can interrupt with this infantry unit there. So it's not HQ capture. If there's something in front of it, it may have been. Neo tank does get a good strike there, hits the anti-air. There's currently 3 Neo tanks in the field for Adder, which is going to pose a big problem. We've got a good number of battlecopters here, but there's 2 anti-airs, so 2 of those will be going down. Hits the tank twice, hits the tank there. Feels like pretty secure game for Adder right now. And yep, Cole does resign there. This and grade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Let's try for a different one. I think I have a number of Adder or Drake games in my recent queue. So yeah, there's like 3 of them right there, so I'm gonna try to choose one. Probably this one here. That one I think is the best one out of the 3. Yep, let's find only one of these Adder games. Not Adder, Drake games. This one's also maybe pretty good. We'll do that one next. So let's go to Drake. Let's do a Drake game, then we'll do this game, and then maybe another Drake game. And that will probably be it for me for tonight. I think this one is the best out of them. Where's the other one? I haven't done this map. A lot of black boats on this map. Let's do this map since I did the other map recently. There we go. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the left side as the Green Earth Kindle, we got Mordio. Spawn on the right side as the Amber Blossom Drake, we got Muji 6. So let's go and get started. This map is a 3-base map, and two airports, handful of seaports, all meant for transports. And both players do start off with 4 black boats. First, the early infantry capturing game. Both players have access to a global damage. Though Kindle's a little bit more specialized, Drake's of course is very powerful and very strong, and the fuel drain's also very effective. While Kindle does offer quite a bit of fun capability with the urban terrain, Drake does not want to end his turn on top or next to urbanized terrain. And he also only has minus 30% firepower on aircraft. This map is just 1 comm tower per person as well, so Drake can't really go for many battle copters, or really for any. And Kindle does capture a comm tower immediately, or very quickly at least. Tank and more infantry. Over here, Drake does have an early anti-air. Kindle hasn't even had time to capture, or even start to capture an airport there. So this one's already secured up. Double tank. And actually, this base is just skipped for Drake. He has not touched this one just yet. So he's been working on 2 bases for quite some time. That's interesting. A lot of capture there. Recon does infantry unit there and hits it twice. Starts to capture that property now. This tank will probably need to respond to it, but it will result in a first strike from this one. No nearby tank for retaliatory strike. So since Drake has been doing 2 base, he's been getting out a lot of tanks very early, to say the least. And destroys the pipe seam there. Booster strike from the city, so that was in plus 40% firepower there. You take an infantry, which are plus 10 from the comm towers, also plus 50% total to strike that pipe seam. Did forfeit this property. Drake can get a first strike on this tank there, but the boosted damage in return would be quite significant. Probably would lose in the fight in general. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Capture the seaport north. The black boat's down to 8 fuel, not a whole lot, but there's a seaport here to resupply it. Well, after this infantry moves up north, we can just get on top of this seaport there. Tank will hit tank. Tank will hit tank as well. So got a nice little core of tanks here. Kindle has some tanks going. She built 3 tanks last turn. She has 21,000, so she can't go 3 tanks per turn. Same thing with Drake as well, 22,000. Black Boat made its way to the seaport. tank. So looks like Kindle's going for I can't speak. A full blitz of tanks. Drake's going for too many battlecopters in my opinion, since he does have minus 20% firepower on battlecopters in total after the comm tower. They're not that great. Neo tank double infantry. Does get a couple early pieces there. Wait, that tank not take a strike? Never mind. Battlecopter gets shot down. Boost strike from anti-air, probably doing approximately 150% damage. And there's a good blitz of tanks over here. Anti-air, double infantry, and battlecopter. That is Kindle's first battlecopter. Hits the anti-air twice. The battlecopter has a bit more free reign. Hits that infantry unit as well. Tank hits the infantry unit. And going for the capture. This might be a turn for Urban Blight. Take out the tank infantry unit there and then get a boost strike on one of these nearby tanks. Interrupts the capture. Hits the unit again. Tank hits tank. Anti-air infantry. Boost strike there. Artillery gets a good strike there. Falls over a regular tank shot. Hits the anti-air twice. Pops the Urban Blight. Pulls back that unit there. Long range tank. Does get finish off that unit there. Boost strike here. Easy one shot. Just to give you in comparison. 99 to 107%. You gotta roll abysmal luck not to get a thin shot off there. And also assuming you don't already had a bit of chip damage from another attack. Battlecopter, tank, and infantry. Battlecopter's gonna strike there. Pops the superpower. Hits a tank, hits infantry, anti-air hits tank. However, this tank is still here. You can get a boost strike on the infantry unit there, or maybe on the battlecopter. Not likely the battlecopter. This tank here courtesy a boost strike from this tank here. Battlecopter, tank, recon, and infantry. Can this tank reach the that city? No, it cannot. This infantry unit needs to be cleaned up first. New tank lurking in the woods. Of course, Kindle does have reduced vision in this rain. Tank, and infantry. Hits that tank twice and now thrice. Tank, anti-air, and infantry. Tank does get a good pick there, takes on one of those tanks. Artillery pops Urban Blight, hits the anti-air, battlecopter, tank, anti-air, infantry, interrupts these two captures, hit the infantry in there, of course, black bow. So overall, this Urban Blight got a lot of targets. No booster strikes though, which is an important aspect of it, but a lot of blight has been inflicted. Drake has a income 24,000. Let's see how much he has left over. 16, so took out 6,000 funds worth of repairs. Does get trapped there, trying to catch the seaport down south. Infantry, tank, and anti-air. Joins, tank hits the anti-air, battlecopter hits battlecopter. It looks like this black boat will make it back to safe harbor. 6 fuel remaining. This one has 19 fuel remaining. This one has 14. Anti-air goes to the battlecopter, not the T-copter. Get a boost strike that hits the infantry unit there. Battlecopter strikes T-copter. Tank hits infantry, capturing up the seaport and hits the tank there. Very good. Artillery, APC, and infantry with a battlecopter as well. New tank hits the infantry unit there. Hits that infantry unit as well. Of course, on top of the city, which means vulnerable to urban blight and the interior next to it. This artillery should be able to nuke this infantry if it has a proper spotter. In serve 146, Kindle starts turn 154. She has more than turn advantage, and not to mention it is her turn. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Does not take out the battlecopter there. We do have Urban Blight summon at the end of the turn. Strikes infantry, black boat, infantry, tank, infantry, medium tank. So a decent amount of blight there. No booster strikes though. Right now Kindle's at 27,000, Drake's at 23. If Kindle would have saved up for high society, she should have had 28 properties, which is 78% firepower bonus, minus all the other aspects. Infantry, tank, battlecopter, and superpower. Is that infantry unit twice? Bomber now pulled in field with double infantry. And serve 158 versus 152, so she has a slight advantage right now. Does get some hits there on that tank. Recon, anti-air, and battlecopter. APC could spend time resupplying this black boat to save it from getting costing any repairs. Repairs of black boat of 2 health would cost 1,500 if my offhand math is incorrect. Resupplies the black boat in the center, resupplies the other black boat at the seaport, takes out the black boat on top of the HQ. Tank gets a boost strike there on the interior, and another regular strike there. Boost strike on tank. Tank hits the black boat there. New tank is hidden. Got a battlecopter, so a couple triple Drake battlecopters ruffling about. We do have anti-air to intercept them. Well, that could be hit by the Neo tank and medium tank, possibly. It'll be a little bit more difficult. A lot of targets in front of them. Kindle ends turn to 208,000 versus 177. Medium tank gets a good strike down. Regular tank. Finish off the 3 health tank. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Regular tank goes down. Hits the capturing squad. Hits the artillery. Hits the regular tank. Anti-air can take down one of those battlecopters. Bomber can nuke the Neo tank for a good amount of power charge. Tank, double infantry, and battlecopter. Bomber nukes the Neo tank, gets a great power charge there. Artillery strikes the black boat. Black boat gets sunk to the bottom of the shore. And a lot of good kills before Urban Blight. Regular tank hits a regular tank. We do now have another Typhoon available. Battlecopter, anti-air, infantry, and mech. Kindle may be eyeing high for society. It is a good superpower. Typhoon now summoned. Tank hits tank. Neo tank hits tank. Anti-air hits the recon. Does spot the bomber. Anti-air gets struck. Anti-air strikes the bomber, knocks it out of the sky. High Society could allow it to hit that medium tank hard, but there's not too many assets nearby. They have a clean sweep down south right now for Drake. Kindle's lost a lot of assets right now. At a nice even 100,000 on the field. Oh, Black Boat may have died there due to the lack of fuel, or... Actually, I'm looking on the mini-map. I actually don't know what exactly died, or allegedly died. Either way, not mini-map, the stream. Kindle has 108,000, 20,000, so effectively 130 versus 168, so she is pretty far behind at the moment. Pops an Urban Blight there. Which does hit infantry unit back here, infantry tank, anti-air, battlecopter. And that's pretty much it. I suppose this recon also got hit there. It also has 27,000 income versus 23,000. Catches the properties of Seaport and the comm tower. Nice thing about this artillery placement. Could get boost strike hit one of these tiles nearby, which would be boosted by Urban Blight. Tank does sack itself on hitting and takes out the tank, or puts some damage in the tank. Hits the capturing squad up north. Hits the regular tank there. Does hit the artillery and the regular tank and the regular tank. Kindo's not in a great position right now, that's for sure. Anti-air battlecopter tank. Tank does strike regular tank there and there. It's not finished off though. Battlecopter hits the tank. Tank hits tank. Tank hits tank. Artillery advance to the forest. Medium tank advancing. Both medium tanks. 2 tanks, infantry, battlecopter. Urban Blight hasn't popped. Striking a battlecopter, anti-air, tank, infantry, infantry. But that's about it. Does get some good hits there. A lot of, actually a huge number of battlecopters. This Drake has 6 battlecopters in the field. Kindle just has not been building enough battlecopters so for keeping them alive. Needs more anti-airs or so. Artillery does strike the recon. Tank hits the recon. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Anti-air hits battlecopter. Typhoon now available. Or Tsunami. I always get those two names mixed up. Anti-air, battlecopter, artillery, and infantry. It's battlecopter. Good shots there. Does get some hits up north. Battlecopter could strike the 9 health battlecopter. Mech gets shot on infantry in there. Artillery gets a good strike there. Urban Blight's been summoned. Resupply onto, I think that was a mech. Gets some good shots there. Another Tsunami's now available. Main tanks fall back to some cities. Tank, mech, and battlecopter. Aims for 163 versus 161. Now Kindle does have 126. Strikes the regular tank there, hits the mech and the tank as well. Hits the battlecopter. Good hits there. And right now, Drake has just been having ATRs on point, taking out all of Kindle's battlecopters. Battlecopter, ATR, infantry, and infantry. Kindle's about good number of turns behind. She has 25,000 income versus 25, but right now she only has 10,000 in the bank after all the repairs. So there's a lot of repairs. Could see a medium tank. Oh, out of range. It would be great if the medium tank could get a boost strike on the medium tank. But we'll have to go for a regular strike instead. Boost strike from the regular tank there onto it. Medium tank hits the A-tier. Mech gets a good strike there on the mech. It's a tank there. Artillery falls back to the city. Infantry and tank. A-tier falls back. Actually needs a bit of fuel. It is down to 6 fuel. Neo tank and double infantry. It's the battlecopter. ATR gets knocked out. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, and infantry, double tank, and battlecopter. Ugh. Mine's mush. Medium tank enters the range of the artillery on top of a city, but does get struck by a regular tank there, and does not get finished off there. A lot of stuff in this black boat, down to 9 fuel, 2 health. Artillery got to 6 health next turn with effects of Urban Blight. Could be able to take out that medium tank. Yeah, 6 health, probably not. But we could still get a lot of firepower bonuses, to say the least. Artillery or another new tank infantry and commits another base skip. ATR hits the battlecopter, tank hits tank. New tank takes out tank. Urban Blight has been summoned. Does hit this rubber tank up here and hits the Neo tank and infantry and T-copter. Resupplies the artillery there to get a little bit extra firepower. Allows it to get 5 or 6 points of damage there. Takes out the anti-air, takes out the battlecopter, hits the infantry unit there. Artillery and double infantry. Hits the anti-air twice. Hits the artillery twice and thrice. Medium tank does get hit a couple times there as well. Infantry, tank, and anti-air. Takes out that medium tank there. Takes out battlecopter strikes battlecopter, tank hits tank. Infantry unit puts a shot on in. Boost strike there from the other tank there. Finish all the same battlecopter. Oh, could see another typhoon next turn. Battlecopter, infantry, artillery, and recon. Blackbound 6 fuel. Typhoon's now activated. Tank finish off Black Build is down to 1% health. Nothing up here to stop double Neo tank at the moment. Got wounded tanks, got a wounded artillery. Does not spot it though. Hits the battlecopter, hits the medium tank, knocks it out. This does not take out too many points of damage there. Down 11 capture progress, so it is interrupted at least. You have another Urban Blight summon. Hits the unit down here, hits a couple tanks, battlecopter, infantry. Missing Neo tanks and no boost strike on that Neo tank. Doesn't even have it spotted yet. Tank, and mech. Good shot there. Breaks on through. Medium tank is still pretty healthy. Nothing to range artillery though, so the medium tank can't really break on through down south. Infantry, and anti-air. Another battlecopter that is currently be battlecopter number 3 on the field. does hit the recon twice. It does have vision of the artillery now. 5 capture progress remaining, so that would not interrupt the capture any further. And Kindle does resign this grade, saying thank you for watching, and on to next replay. Before I get started on next replay, I do need his restroom. Please give me a moment. My apologies. I can't speak right now. My apologies. I am back. Did I just say I am apologies? Ugh, my mind is completely melted today. I blame daylight savings. Not that one. This one here. And depending how long this goes, this may be the last one for tonight. Wait. It looks like it's the same map size as the previous one. How handy. I'm curious, that previous one. No, I made sure the map was big enough, so yeah, just the same size map. Either way, let's get started. Greetings everyone, and Gerd here of another Age of Empires Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on bottom side as Yellow Comet Eagle, got Brass Mock. Spawn on top right side as Acid Rain Von Bolt, we got Izanagi 007. This map is a 3-base map, 1 airport, technically 1 seaport. You don't even pull out even black boats or landers with that. Just ignore the seaport exists. This map does offer paracom towers. However, if your opponent manages captures yours, your party already lost the game, so it's not really contestable, but you still need to defend them. Recon and APC down south. Combo is 9,000 funds. Could go for a tank. Actually, goes for a T-copter triple infantry. Recon reconnoitering down south. Does not see much. Recon double infantry. No tanks just yet. Day 7. Tank. Excuse me. Tank now deployed on the field. Eagle sinks is completely and utterly ordinary. Infantry and tank. Recon does get a good first strike there on the recon, and which there's no tank to follow up there, so this is a great first strike there for Von Bolt. He also has +10/+10, which just inherently gives a better trade in this situation. Bolt up the recon. Seeing the recon pull back there, he knows it's going to be for a bit of bait, so this is a pretty good recon rush here by Von Bolt. It would be a good time to drive on out of there. Decides to take a shot there against the infantry there. This turn, the tank can get a good strike, and then Recon can follow it up. It's this one over here. Recon get a good strike on Recon. Recon does go down. Now it's scouting out hell. And it's determined it's very warm down there. Tank, and infantry. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Right now, 19,000 to 20,000 income, so still pretty even. Von Bolt does 18,000, so you could go medium tank, double infantry this turn. But probably double tank. Oh, tank, battlecopter, double infantry. Recon does go down, catch the comm tower. Von Bolt has his comm tower. Battlecopter. Infantry, artillery, infantry, and battlecopter. T-copter traps, traps the infantry unit there. Gets a good shot onto it. Tank hits infantry, infantry hits infantry. Captures up, starts to capture the city there. Tank is somewhat secure from this tank here with the meat shield in front of it. Suppose if this infantry would have stopped capturing, recon hit this guy here, then tank could have broke on through, hit this tank here. So with plus 10% defense may not go that well. Maybe a little bit subject RNG. It's the T-copter twice. Anti-air, double infantry, and battlecopter once again. Eagles up to 3 battlecopters, which do get plus 15, plus 10. His power increases it by up to like increases up to plus 15, which is not great. His power sucks. If Advanced Force by Web were to buff it, they would probably have to draw on the dual strike version, which does act as a mini lightning strike. Basically, it could be used to charge forward, get some shots off, and then withdraw, like as a hit and run. Recon and infantry unit does take out that unit there, hits that infantry unit twice. Battlecopter hits that tank. Tank goes down. Tank, and infantry. Tank gets hit again. Tank hits hit, hits the infantry unit there. You can send this tank to hit this tank there. Anti-air needs to start eyeing for the battlecopter, but simply just out of range at the moment. Lightning drive is available. Neo tanking down south, anti-air, battlecopter, infantry, and tank. Right now, Eagle has pretty much nothing up here, so Von Bolt can get some good work done. And right now, if Eagle goes too much on one flank, Ex Machina excuse me, could lock him down. Of course, Lightning Strike is a whole beast of its own. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. Tank hits tank. Recon hits infantry and recons. Neo tank does not get spotted. Got a pair of artillery here. And Von Bolt does spot this one, so he knows he has to be careful about at least a artillery piece for the Neo tank. Becomes a value, got 64,000 versus 53, so Von Bolt has taken a lot more hits so far this game. Though right now day-to-day value is still pretty even, Von Bolt's just slightly behind. Does have 28 properties versus 20 properties, which is going to start adding up. Neo tank takes a strike at the regular tank there, but in range of artillery. Does hit the artillery. Anti-air takes the battlecopter. Lightning strike could be some next turn, which could allow the artillery to advance forward to get a shot on Neo tank the same turn. Yeah, lightning strike could be very devastating this turn. Guess we'll have to wait and see how well it goes. Okay, he moves this one here rather than take a shot there. He could have got double tap on the Neo tank or something of the sort. So likely no lightning strike this turn. Guess the T-copter knocks it out. Is infantry there? Oh, he is going for lightning strike, isn't he? Battlecopter recon. Yep, Lightning Strike has been summoned. 4,000 monies remaining. 4,500. And now this artillery can hit the Neo-Tank, hits the anti-air, hits the Neo-Tank twice. Could double tap it with this anti-air artillery as well. Battlecopter does finish off the Neo-Tank. Great hits there. Enter of 127. Von Bolt starts turn 84 with his day-to-day income. He's only about half a turn behind Eagle. So he's still in a good position. If Ex Machina lands, it could strike right here. But it also could strike right there. Maybe directly right there. There's a lot of possibility to strike over here. Guess we'll find out. Guess we'll doesn't take the shot there. He's not going for Ex Machina. Ex Machina landed somewhere over here. Recon does not spout this stuff here, so this may be the outer edge, so could have struck directly right here. Did not strike here, so must have struck right here, so this battlecopter probably hit in this tank as well. Could have got at least a little bit extra firepower with the activating the power superpower. It's good strikes there. With this flank effectively locked down, Von Bolt has somewhat of a double turn here. Though these forward units could get some work done, like capturing the comm tower, which didn't get interrupted. So Eagle now has both comm towers. Does pick up a recon. Anti-air does hit the infantry on top of the mounted side and does knock it out there. Of course, we got the APC on top of the forest here, causing a bit of a roadblock issue. Yeah, that's gonna be an annoying roadblock issue. Best have this infantry start making its way again on this river to spot it and start trying to machine gun it. But this is a very annoying placement of the APC, honestly. Battlecopter could get a good strike there on the battlecopter, so Von Bolt can get some work done. He is actually slightly ahead of day-to-day value, with going 130 versus 125, while due to the fact that he has just higher income. I mentioned this flank is still firmly solid Von Bolt. Oh, lost the coin flip there. Tank hits tank, infantry hits infantry, infantry hits infantry, infantry hits infantry, starts recapturing the comm tower. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter, does not knock it out. We'll finish off from there. Neo-Tank can take out anti-air. May lose the city though. Get some good strikes here. Takes a machine gun shot there. Tank and triple tanks and battlecopter. Does flip a city. But this city is going to be flipped in return. Possibly the comm tower gets flipped, but can be interrupted by the various assets nearby. Von Bolt does get cleaned up down there. It's this infantry unit twice. Medium tank, double infantry. Hits the unit there. Finished off the infantry unit, that's a good idea. Hits the battlecopter. Tank hits, get hit by the battlecopter. This tank can fall back to the city at least. Finish off that tank there. Join captures. Hits a recon, hits infantry unit there. Puts the artillery in the forest to protect this tank there. Anti-air, infantry, anti-air, and battlecopter. Insert of 137,000. Eagle has 97. It's the income difference that's causing Eagle some issues. There's also another Neo-Tank on the field, which he has a possible counter with the medium tank, but will need the first strike. A lightning strike with artillery will help out as well. Infantry and Neo-Tank over here. Von Bolt doesn't have anything to count. It is actually lacking a lot of stuff over here. Sort of lost steam over here. Does take up that battlecopter. Takes up that battlecopter. 9 capture blocks remaining. Has 1 capture blocks remaining. Join captures. Probably would better put that one in the front, but he may not have enough movement range. Neo tank double infantry. Flips a city. Largely pulling back, repositioning everything. Recon infantry in A tier. Neo tanks push forward, no counter to it. Actually locking counter for most things over here now. Resecures a comm tower. Recon, battlecopter in A tier. Trying to flip some stuff over there. Infantry, tank, and battlecopter. Battlecopter, anti-air, tank, and infantry. 200,000 on the field right now for Von Bolt versus 158. Lightning strikes almost available. Right now, the front lines are not colliding with each other, and they don't really see each other all too much. We got a good core of tanks here. He spots the Neo tank and 4 tanks there. Does not see this battlecopter behind the HQ. Very sneaky, hiding behind a building. Infantry, battlecopter, and tank. Takes the battlecopter. Tank hits the artillery. Lightning strike is available. Another Neo tank back here. Battlecopter's pushing forward. Got a stealth on the field. Recon hits infantry. Neo tank hits the artillery. 4 capture progress remaining. Hit some of these units front line. I wonder if it's going to be lightning strike. There's probably not lightning strike this turn. Von Bolt's pushes it forward. He may believe he has enough for a Ex Machina. Ex Machina right now very likely strike this anti-air. Oh, gets trapped there. Does not deploy Ex Machina. Ex Machina likely deployed out this turn, but this is definitely the turn of the lightning strike. A lightning strike hits the tank. Hits Neo tank with the artillery. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Tank hits infantry. Infantry gets hit. Neo tank hit Neo tank. There's another Neo tank reserve. Got the stealthed, but likely out of range. Hits the battlecopter. Battlecopter hits the tank. Recon hits the battlecopter. Medium tank hits Neo tank. Neo tank hits anti-air. Regular tank hits anti-air. It's the Neo tank again. It is on top of property, so be at 4 health next turn. Let's see, where would Ex Machina land? It will likely strike right here, hits the Neo tank, battlecopter, and recon. If it strikes right here, it will get a lot of friendly fire there. So yeah, it likely will strike right here at this moment. Could strike back here, but I think it will strike right here. Guess we'll find out. No. Right here. Oh, he may try to manipulate where it's going. It landed right there. Which means he could ignore the Neo tank and focus on other targets right now since it's locked down. Stealth. Hits the anti-air. Unable to retaliate. Takes out battlecopter. Tank hits the artillery. Tank hits tank. New tank finish off anti-air. Regular tank here, sort of trapped. Maybe we'll take out a 4 health anti-air. Tank, battlecopter or artillery. Neo tank. Yeah, stealth next turn could go head up there. Battlecopter's gonna strike it for a little bit more damage. Insert 159,000 versus 128. Finish off 4 health anti-air. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Stealth fast way forward. We do not have any counter to a stealth right now. A fighter will still be very useful against battlecopters and lightning strike. Recon, and tank. Neo-tank falls back to a city. The stealth has no counter to it. Oh! Neo-tank gets trapped on the stealth. Oh, that hurts. And it's going to hurt even more when it actually shoots him. Ghost fighter, yep, need the fighter. Did that stealth attack something last turn? Don't think it did, so that was a stealth being stealthy. That is something you do not want to happen. And stealths have good vision range. It's able to self-spot. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 vision range, which is actually not very common. Most units have between 1, 2, 3, and 5. There's hardly any 4s. This might be one of the few 4s. It has 18 fuel. He needs to plot an APC this turn, and even then it would be difficult to get it resupplied. Does take a Neo-tank with an artillery. Lightning Drive's now available. It will consume, what, 7 or 8 fuel next turn, so it'll be down like to 10. Not a lot of fuel remaining. Stealth takes a shot against Neo-tank, gets a great amount of damage there. Takes out the battlecopter as well. There's the APC. But yeah, we'll just keep an eye. It says 18 fuel at the moment. Of course, you guys can't see it from your how I have everything set up. So you can manipulate of how far you go and sort of prolong, give it APC not just 1 but 2 turns to get to the front line, but you can't be moving maximum distance. It will consume 5 fuel if it's not stealth. I think it's 7 fuel or 8 fuel when it is stealth. Infantry, anti-air, infantry, battlecopter, and infantry. Get down to town to 10 fuel. Can move it 1 tile and keep it stealth, or you can unstealth it and move 4 tiles. And actually, yep, you can see here these 2 units cannot get a resupply this turn. He has to move it either 1 tile or 4 tiles and unstealth. That's all he can do to give him another turn. Because right now they're not far enough to reach each other. Nice clean sweep there by Von Bolt. He moves at 1 tile and keeps his stealth. Next turn, it is in range of a resupply next turn. So he can charge forward with the APC, get a resupply, and then push forward for attack while maintaining stealth. That's probably the best course of action. He can be spotted. I think the fighter's out of range, though. Yeah, fighter's out of range. We need a full lightning strike, which is getting pretty close. He does not know the stealth is at. The fighter's now in range for a sortie. Von Bolt right now is 210 versus 163, so Von Bolt has a clear advantage so far in the game. Infantry unit there can pull back so it can get a resupply. That works as well. So the stealth is now fully resupplied. It can stay there. If Eagle saw where the APC went, which he may or may not see where that at, he has an idea where the stealth is. But also notice that there's a empty hole there. Could also get an indication the stealth is located right there. Infantry, tank, and anti-air. The fighter should be in range of the stealth right now. Sortie's over there. The APC can give a bit of resupply before it pushes forward again. knowing the formation there, he may expect the stealth to still be there because there's a hole there where the stealth was, but this also may give indication of where the stealth could juke out his opponent, think that's stealth right there. Charge for the recon, get a strike on the artillery, but he does not see the stealth there when there's a hole there. So that could have been an elaborate bait as well. Still got a good shot on the artillery, but the recon will be going on down. A-tier does have some coverage. Gotta be careful not to send the fire forward. The stealth is out of range. The fighter's out of the range of stealth. Recon does strike the recon. Battlecopter strikes battlecopter. He does not have vision of the stealth or the fighter just yet. Get some good shots there. Hits the recon, hits the tank, hits the infantry unit there. APC here. Falls back all the way up there. I say send the APC next to it, just get a bit of resupply going. No, he waits. Which... he sees the APC there, so he may falsely think the stealth is nearby it. He didn't see the resupply option. Do you see the... no, you would see the resupply to other nearby units. So he did a wait there, which could be elaborate bait. Trying to juke out what the stealth is. Maybe some mind games going on. Sometimes I sort of wish what's going on in these players' minds. But there's a fishbowl in his head, which is like a tinfoil hat, so it can't have mind reading abilities right now. My apologies. A-tier, battlecopter, recon, and recon. A lightning strike is now available. Resupplies there, well out of vision range of everything. And I just realized, how many A-tiers does Von Bolt have? A-tier, infantry, tank, battlecopter. He has 7 A-tiers in the field versus 7 battlecopters. Suppose that's a good number. 269,000 versus 185. Let's get shot there and range the artillery. Neo tank, recon, and infantry. Lightning strike is available. Von Bolt's just playing defensive around it, of course. Recon gets a good strike there. Does spot the artillery, strikes the artillery, does spot the tank. Not much you can do about it right now. Stealth right there. Here's a battlecopter. You can move the APC to resupply the stealth, but where the stealth, I think the tank should actually leave a hole there. If he would have left the hole right there, then it would have juked out Eagle. I think the stealth would be right there next to the APC. By putting the tank right there, he could have perhaps do a false bait of some sort. There's some mind games you play with when there's stealth in the field like that. As long as, let's see, the stealth is at 55 fuel, so it's plenty fuel to float around with. And looks like he's being defensive. He wouldn't spawn bolt attack him first, and then use a lightning strike for a double turn counterattack, it looks like. But Von Bolt could lock down the entire army with a Ex Machina. And it would likely strike one of the Neo tanks or the fighter. Fires for 20,000, Neo tanks for 22,000. So right now, Ex Machina would likely strike this fighter directly, based on what I'm seeing with all the battlecopters nearby as well. I'm going to sort of just fast forward a little bit there, because it looks like they're just both being defensive, which is probably a little bit better for Von Bolt. After all, his Ex Machina is another form of a double turn. Does have Ex Machina available. Right now, Von Bolt does 26,000 for 24,000. Does get some good hits there. This might be the lightning strike turn. No, the Neo tanks too far back. His formation is scattered enough for the Ex Machina. Though right now, Ex Machina, no, can't strike both Neo-Tanks. Where did the Ex Machina land? We have no vision of where it actually landed. Here? Fighter's out of range, so it's either hit a fighter, a Neo-Tank, and Neo-Tank. Could have struck all these battle... No, this one's not locked down. It may have struck right here. I have no idea. I think it struck this artillery directly because it locked down 3 artillery and the fighter. Could have struck right here. I think this one's safe and free. I genuinely have no idea. But likely there's going to be a lightning strike next turn. But if it locks on the fighter, if he sees the fighter gets locked down, then Stealth could charge forward, get some work done, and potentially get first strike on the fighter or sack itself on a Neo-Tank. Not a really strong turn. Oh, that was a good spot. I thought I hit the artillery, I missed this spot. That was a pretty good lightning strike, or Ex Machina, but... this new tank could be struck by a Stealth, but it's way over here. At least the fighter's also wounded as well, so we'll have a bit more trouble dealing with the Stealth. The Stealth has now a fighting chance against the fighter. There's a lightning strike, which unweights the Ex Machina. I forgot about that. For some reason I thought it would. I really never have Von Wolf as Eagle, but lightning strike does unweight the weighted units from Ex Machina. Can't say if that would be a one-time or two-time the cartridge, but in this case, it's a one-time. Getting some good strikes there. Machine guns does not machine gun down the Neo-Tank. It's probably close to 1%. Join captures there. Artillery advancing. And instead of 199, excuse me, Von Bolt still has 242, so he still has a clear advantage by about 2 to 3 turns. Excuse me. Does get trapped there. Anti-air strikes infantry, does stop the capture. Hits that infantry unit there, hits that infantry unit there. Actually does not finish off those, so saving the artillery a bit of pain. Takes out the anti-air, takes out battlecopter, hits the anti-air, finish off the battlecopter. Stealth does strike the Neo-Tank, and Neo-Tank does finish it off. Hits the infantry unit there, hits the artillery. Hits the regular tank there, hits the infantry unit there, hits the artillery. Hits the tank there, hits the Neo-Tank softening up, hits another artillery, spots the Stealth, unable to range with the anti-air. The fighter has to sortie against the Stealth, but that is a lot of mass between the fighter and the Stealth there, so that may not be able to. I think Von Bolt has the game in the bag right now. Tank, infantry, recon, and battlecopter. 261 versus 129. Von Bolt has twice the amount of value in the field, which is lethal, a game-losing amount to say the least. And decided to take some tax there and decides to resign. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay tonight, so everyone, thank you for watching, have a good evening, and get some good rest.